right, so for this week's first discussion, it was to identify those two formative and summative assessments that we would use in our class for students' comprehension and proficiency in our content area. My content area is physical education. I'm really liking the example of using weightlifting as an example for a lot of the assessments that I'm using. So for the first one, it was those two formative assessments that we could use. For the first one, I decided on a quiz on the lifts and what muscle groups that they would each hit. This assessment will help us measure the students' understanding of the material, the understanding of different lifts, the understanding of different muscle groups, and it will use the literacy skill of reading in that assessment. The second assessment that I thought I could use as a formative assessment would be an in-class discussion assessment. This would allow for the students to kind of just have a conversation about the information without kind of being graded on it. This would measure their understanding of the material, the muscle groups, the different types of lifts, and they would be using speaking and listening literacy skills. I like this one a lot because I feel like it's much easier for, students to kind of display the information that they know by just having like a conversation with each other. And then I'd be able to, kind of observe and see that, yeah, they're talking about the right things, or, it's making sense. And I'd really just be able to see how they're understanding the material. Maybe if a student is a bit more confident, they're talking a lot more about the subject material, then I know that they're getting a pretty good understanding. If I notice that, there's a kid who's maybe piping in here and there, they're getting it a bit. And then if there's that student who, just is sitting there and not contributing, there could be a number of reasons. They could be shy, but then I'll know that they understand the information from that quiz assessment. Or they're just maybe not getting it, and then I can know that I need to give them extra assistance. And I like these two assessments because they are very different, they're for different types of learners. And then the two summative assessments that I thought I could use would be to create kind of like an overall summative workout for the students, and they'll need to demonstrate to me that they understand it and can do it. This will measure their understanding of the whole lesson, as well as the literary skill of reading, because they'd have to actually read, the workout and have to be able to perform it. That second assessment would be to have the students create a multiple choice test with answers for, different definitions, maybe even a picture demonstrating what lifts hit different muscle groups, and then have them turn it in. So they're kind of the ones like creating a test. They're also turning in the answers to the test. This can definitely measure their understanding of the material, really forces them to kind of study and actually know it, because they're creating the tests. And it's also using that reading and writing literary skills. And then as a teacher, I would be able to see that the students are understanding, and this would definitely demonstrate that they understand the material that I've been presenting if they were able to complete these two assessments.